Okay, betting in the break. I am Loud Esmond. I'm sorry, got some technical difficulties kicking off the show here tonight. I think my internet's a little bit slow, so sorry, everybody, if I look like I'm talking in a badly dubbed movie. Joining us tonight, our actual bookmaker, Scott Keypork. I've got pig racing on the brain because Tom Macrina and I were, Rye and I were watching a little pig racing. It's a thing, actually.
So I got to start making odds on pig racing.
Yes.
All right, we're doing it.
People send me random stuff to my various social media handles about betting, and somebody sent me a video of pig racing from England.
Oh, now I guess I'll have to do pig racing, the cheese wheel down the hill.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Sorry, it's a little weird start to the show. Let me start over. Okay, so it's Betting in the Break. It's the show where we get you ready for the night games. If you're down on your money roll, we're going to help you get healthy. If you're up on your money roll, we're going to help you reinvest that money, as Scott Keyport would say at Little Creek Casino Sportsbook. All right. So, interesting storylines that we can talk about, some stuff, a lot of things going on in the NFL today. But I want to start with just a little crowing of mine. Of course, we had the Betting in the Break show last night. I gave out 2 picks. Both were on the number, not side bets, but number bets. Oregon, Maryland, I had under 58. The final in that game was a total of 57 points. So I just got that one. And then Penn State, and of course, you can't bet on them here, Washington Huskies. But I've got listeners in California and all over the country. And so Penn State, Washington, I gave out an under 48 and cashed that one too, as that final score ended up being a combined total of 41 points. So a couple of college football winners on Betting in the Break last night, and we're going to help you cash some winners this evening as well and talk about Monday Night Football. And I'm very much looking forward to the Thursday Night Football game featuring a couple of great young quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels. All right, Tom, we go to you. Let's talk about Sunday Night Football and what you're seeing in this game.
Yeah, so we have the Lions in Texas. This should be an exciting game. I expect it to be. We have Detroit Lions, who are probably the best team in the league right now. High-powered offense. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. I'm not really looking at a side here. I'm looking at the total. So the last 5 games, Detroit has averaged 39 points per game, given up 19, whereas Houston has averaged 24.5, allowing 21. Stroud is good at home. We're playing in Houston. We're supposed to get Nico Collins back. When he left, he was the best receiver in the league. So I think that gives them a boost of energy there. With the injuries from Houston, Tank Dell was on the injury list earlier. I think he's going to play tonight, but I don't think anybody's going to be 100%. There's going to be a learning curve offensively. I think they do improve as the game goes on. We see Detroit scores in bunches. I think Houston's going to have to play keep up. I think they do. Home dogs are 21-12-2 on Sunday Night Football. That also makes me think that this is going to be a close game. So I have 2 plays for tonight. I like the Lions first half, -2.5. As I said earlier, I think the Texans are going to have a problem starting out. So the Lions will get that. They should have the lead at the first half. But what I really like is the full game over, 50.5. I think we're going to see a lot of points here.
Yeah. The public is all over the Lions in this one, at least where I've seen. Scott, can you confirm that for us?
Yeah, I mean, we have the sharps in the public both lining up on this one because ticket count and handle all really heavy for the Detroit Lions.
All right, so let's
explain
that. Let's explain that a bit to people who are new to sports betting. So there's the number of tickets.
right,
which is the ticket count. So that's just counting how many bets have been placed. And then there's the handle, which is the money.
right.
And
So yeah, we look at the ticket
first.
count as considering those to be sort of public bets, because that's people that are coming in betting $10 here, $20 here, $10 here. And when we see the handle, the overall, total bet, that can really be influenced by those big bettors, which are typically your sharper bettors. Sometimes they're just people with money to burn, but most of the time they're going to be on the sharper side of things. And so that's when you get those splits. It's obviously it's not happening in this game, but when some games you'll have the ticket count going in one direction and the money handle going in the other direction, and that really tells you when the sharps and the public are going with two different sides on that game.
And that's when Tom likes to bet them. I love that.
Yeah, see where the sharp money is going towards the end as you're getting towards game time. And if there's a big divergence between where the big money is going and where the public bet ticket count is going, go with where the money is. Those guys know what they're doing. A lot of times those are gambling syndicates. Basically, it's a group of people that all come and invest their money together on sports betting. And so a gambling syndicate can go into a Vegas casino and they'll drop $100,000, $200,000 on a single game because they're aggregating money from like 100 people. Or it's 10 guys that are, really professional focused sports bettors. Anyway, if you see a lot of those bets going the other way than the public bet, watch out because the sharps know what they're doing.
BYU last night.
What?
BYU last night.
Right.
That's what I like to look for. I like for high handle, low tickets, line movement, and toward in favor of the handle.
Right. Okay. So that is pretty much our take on the Sunday night football game. Tom, what do you got? Oh, Tom, what do you have on Monday night? You want to talk about that game?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting game as well. I also like the total here. Since Tua has been back, this Dolphins offense has looked great. 54 points, 750 yards, 6+ yards per play in the last two games. He's been back 2 games. LA gave up 424 yards to Seattle, which I think is a downgrade in offense compared to the Miami Dolphins. And on the other side, the Dolphins defense is not good either, especially against the pass. We'll have Nakua. We should have Kupp playing. So I think we're going to see a lot of points here. The Rams have allowed 58 points the last 2 games. Their offense last 2 games has put up 56. Miami doesn't pressure the QB, so that should help Matt Stafford because when he's clean, he looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Miami is a balanced offense that should help compete against this Rams defense. LA has weapons. Miami has weapons. The spread suggests a close game. I'm expecting a high-scoring shootout here. I like the over 49 in the Dolphins-Rams.
All right. Now, Scott, you have not taken a lot of action on this game, correct?
No, there's not a ton of interest in it. What is coming in is coming in on the Rams side of things mostly and the over. But it wasn't one of our more heavily bet games so far. Maybe everyone's waiting for this show. They're getting their info, and then they're going to come rush the ticket counter right after they cash all the. Well, they should. I guess I think most of these games are over. All the games are over now. So go cash all your winners, get a beer, and then come get the Monday night game.
Yeah, and reinvest for the Sunday night and the Monday night games. All right, let's talk about a little Thursday night football. This is going to be a fun game. The Commanders and the Eagles, 2 great young quarterbacks. The Eagles, as much as they keep winning, Tom, they don't look great. I mean, they're winning, but it's like watching the Chiefs win. It's like, oh, okay, they won. And the Eagles put up a lot of points today, but let's be honest, Dallas couldn't move the ball at all. And this is a totally different game, a lot closer if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't fumble on the 1-yard line going in. So, I I love the Commanders. I've been betting on them all year. Today was a tough one for them. They took it on the chin, losing to the Steelers. And then that's another trend we have to talk about is them. But this game opened Commanders +6. It's down to Commanders +3.5 is the latest line that I saw. The number is 49.5. I believe the Commanders gave up well over 30 points to Pittsburgh today. And the Eagles scored north of 30 points on Dallas. And the Commanders, they can score in bunches. And, well, you know where I'm going, right, Tom? I mean,
yeah.
I think that total is a little low. I haven't officially bet it, and I'm not giving out an official pick right now. But that's certainly where I'd be leaning as the most likely bet in that game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. We have two high-powered offenses. I guess Eagles defense hasn't really been giving up points, but look who they've been playing.
Right.
Browns, Jags. Yeah, Dallas without Dak. So, yeah, they haven't really showed me anything. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of worried. 6 points, you said? Now it's 3.5.
It opened at 6. It's now Commanders +3.5.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to give an early lean, I think I got to look for Washington with that hook.
Yeah, that's where I'd be thinking too. Man, I wish I'd seen this if I had been able to get this at +6.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking I needed to take a lunch break and go somewhere else and grab that at +6.
Well, yeah, that's where it opened. It's down to +3.5. If I could have grabbed it at +6, I would have been all over it. I still lean that way at +3.5. But again, right now, my most likely play, if I was to play in this game, is I like over 49.5 in that game, because each of these teams can easily score north of 30, and then you'll just blow that total away. And like you said, Tom, neither one's playing great defense. What are your Thursday nights like at Little Creek? Do you get pretty busy?
We have a pretty good crowd for Thursday night. Yeah. Depending on the game, but this one will, I think, get lots of action. There's a lot going on there. You have the Commanders kind of becoming a new public team. But you have Philly, the home teams just are overdoing win at I think it's like 60-something% for the home teams on the Thursday night games. So, but then, Philly just crushes the Cowboys. So there'll be a lot of things rolled around in the bettors' minds when they walk up to the counter on Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of different things to take into account in that game, especially the Commanders coming off a tough loss at home with the Steelers. And, the public, the betting public tends to be prisoners of the moment. So I think what's going to happen is you are going to see the Commanders undervalued and the Eagles overvalued. Right, Tom?
Correct. Yeah. But we're seeing, I guess the market prefers Washington. So if you like the Commanders, I was ready to say Redskins. If you like the Commanders, I think you have to take them at the 3.5.
Yeah. Yes,
Washington has also had success against Philadelphia in recent years. I think they swept them the past season, and then the season before, Washington was their first loss, Super Bowl season.
Okay, so let's talk about some storylines. Those are your picks for tonight, folks. We're going to spend a few minutes here just talking about some storylines that you can look towards in betting. Boy, the Jets are terrible, Tom. Wow. What are they against the spread? They're like 2-7, something like that.
Yeah, they're not good. They're 1-6 their last 6. So even covering spread, you can't depend on them to win games. They were favored today, right? And they got blown out.
And they got absolutely manhandled. I've show them in real time now at 3-7 ATS this season. I'm surprised they're that good. 3-7 against the spread. And the exact opposite for the Cardinals, who are 7-3 to the spread so far this season. So you've got the Jets at 30%. Does anybody remember them being talked about as a Super Bowl potential team earlier in the season? Yikes. I remember very distinctly people saying that and me thinking, 40-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles tear. I don't know. And boy, they are awful. And Arizona,
Patriots are better than they are.
Yeah, Arizona is undervalued. 70% ATS, and the Jets are overvalued. The Bills just keep rolling. I'm not sure that they're great against the spread, though. They do keep winning. 6-4, kind of meh for Buffalo. Detroit is 7-1. Commanders 7-2, Steelers 7-2, Arizona 7-3, Indy 7-3, Denver 7-3. So those are some of your best covering teams. Not surprisingly, down near the bottom, Tennessee 1-8, Miami 2-6, Dallas 2-6, Seattle 2-6, Carolina 3-7, and the Jets and the Giants 3-7 bring up the bottom in terms of your against the spread teams. So it's just you always want to take some time, take a look at how teams are doing against the spread. It's kind of a key thing to look at, right, Tom?
It is. You always have to look if teams are covering, as we hear all the time. Good teams win, great teams cover, and that's really how it is. You have to look at the splits on the road, home, to see where they're winning at. A lot of teams cover more on the home side rather than the road side. But yeah, you definitely have to pay attention to that.
Yeah, you want to be looking at the against the spread numbers, and then and the great thing about the explosion of sports gambling all over the country is that there's all kinds of research available now. Even the NFL has a premium research thing now that they know. I mean, it is so funny to me as a person who's been betting on sports for 30-something years that it used to be really hard to find information. And, you were sort of looked as, some guy in a trench coat with half a cigar hanging out of your mouth looking for tickets, right? That was the image of the sports bettor. And now it's mainstream. So everybody's got information. You just got to get out there and look for it. All right, guys. Scott Keyport, friendliest little Creek casino sportsbook. Love going out there. It's where I like to go and place my bets. I still have a couple of tickets I got to bring in and cash. I just haven't been able to make it out there. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll never miss an episode of Betting in the Break. This is where you get your winners. And we will see you again next Saturday. Betting in the Break, 4